you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now. It doesn't really matter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance live show number 71. We are here and ready to rock and roll, and I'm joined by some special people here today. I'm joined by my normal co-host and good buddy, good old Maurice. How you doing today, bud?
Good. Glad to be normal.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm also joined by my also extra normal but very cool friend, and also the co-host of the Operation Metaverse Galaxy's Edge live stream with good old Maurice on Tuesdays. T Money G, how's it going?
Hey, very good. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm excited because we got a lot to talk about. So much so that I wanted to dive right in and kind of take a look at the Road Ahead blog, get everybody's thoughts on these new updates coming to the game, and see what what your guys' thoughts are. So we haven't really had much news over the last couple of weeks. It's been mostly just sort of kind of quiet. I mean, besides the release of Anakin's ship, which we'll get into later, by the way. We didn't have a show last week because I was feeling under the weather. I actually had a tooth pulled last week, and then I also got the flu later in the week, so it was like a double whammy for me, so I couldn't do the show last Sunday, and we decided to make up for it today. So we're still going to have a live show on Sunday as well, so look forward to that. But this is kind of just perfect timing for us to kind of discuss this this post today. So we're just going to dive right in here and just kind of read it together. So there's a new feature coming here, the Grand Arena. The big feature announcement to round out the year is the Grand Arena. Currently, you can be the best player in your server and dominate the PvP arena, or you can be part of the best guild and defeat other guilds in territory wars. However, we look forward at what we'd like this game to be in the future. A big part of our vision is to answer questions like, who is the greatest player in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Basically, this is going to be a game mode that's somewhat similar to Territory Wars, in that you're going to be setting defensive teams, but it's going to be more of a one-on-one based type Territory Wars, where you set defensive teams and you get points for offensive victories and defensive victories, and the person with the most points wins the Grand Arena battle at the end. What do you guys think this is going to be like? I mean, do you think this is going to be exactly like Territory Wars, like 2.0, or do you think this is going to be something new and interesting and fun? You know, what are your thoughts about it?
On you, guest.
You being a gentleman.
Yes.
I'm so excited about this game mode. I don't really care what form it comes in. I'm just so excited it's coming. I think the PvP piece, for me, I have a very low GP relative to the average in my guild, and so I always kind of feel like I'm reaching up to fight. And so the idea that I could go 1v1 versus people who are similar GP to me, it's very exciting. I'm very, very excited about this game mode.
Yeah, it seems to me like a I mean, yes, it is similar to TW, but I mean, obviously, TW is also more of a. It's more of a demanded thing on the player base, right? Because you feel obligated to participate because you're in a guild, and if you don't participate in TW, you're letting 49 other people down. You know, whereas in like Grand Arena, this is something where you have the opportunity to play it if you enjoy arena battles, if you enjoy the competition. But if this is something that you don't want to do, you don't have to participate. It's just, it's a game that, mode that obviously you're going to want to because of the rewards. But if you just don't want to participate because it's, you know, just not, you don't have time for it, or because you're not letting anybody down by not participating in this other than yourself.
Well, we've been asking for stuff like this for over a year now, you know, just a self-driven game mode. Like you just talked about, it doesn't affect anyone else except you. I think a lot hinges on the rewards. Have they announced the rewards for this yet? Does anyone know what they are?
No, I don't think they have. It says basically you're going to be matched with 7 other players with similar galactic power. In the first match, you'll be up against a random player from your group to essentially fight a mini territory war. And then it says that each round you'll be matched with other players who have same wins, losses, record as you, and you will never fight the same opponent twice in a Grand Arena event. You'll earn special rewards after each offensive battle you complete at the end of each of 3 rounds, and the final set of rewards at the end of the event based on your standings in the 8-player group. It doesn't say like what the rewards will be, but it's saying that you'll get like a reward for each victory, and then you'll get another set of rewards, like a larger or better set of rewards once you, depending on where you place in the group of 8. So, I don't know. I mean, do you think this is mods? Do you think this is gear? Do you think we're getting more mod pieces here? What do you think we're going to get out of this?
Well, from what it sounds like you basically just 8 random people get put together, and then those 8 people play random other people outside the bracket at the end of the week. You know, it's kind of like any sort of sporting thing. You know, like the Saints are in first place; they're 2 games above the Panthers. You know, so and they don't, you know, they play each other. It's weird though that we wouldn't play each other because, you know, if there's 8 players, there could potentially be some ties, and maybe it goes to total. But I don't know. I have no idea. But I think it's gonna be real fun. Again, self-driven. If you can't play, if you're out of town, you know, working, whatever the case may be, you're not going to lose, or you're not going to affect 49 other people. This is really, I like this because if you go in there and lose, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You didn't do something right. It's not, you know, my guild mates didn't participate. Somebody left full loaded turn meter. You know, like there's no excuses. You just lost. You know, so that's what I like.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's the ultimate, if nothing else, if you don't care about the rewards, this is going to be the ultimate testing ground for any teams that you build. We don't have Galactic War really anymore. Once you reach a certain like level threshold, Galactic War is super easy, and it's simmable once you beat, I think, 150 of them. So this is the veteran player testing ground.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great way to look at it. It's like a revised Galactic War, you know, that actually is exciting and you know, much more relevant. You're not facing, you know, year 5 characters. You know, it's going to be, it's going to be very interesting to face off. I don't know what the rewards are going to be. I've been kind of trying to look in my crystal ball for that, and I'm just not sure. It might be a little echo of regular territory wars, like maybe the final prize is, you know, a Zeta piece, or cool. You know, something like that, or 2 for the first place, 1 for the second, you know, something like that, little echo. But I think it's got to be something that people can't pull too far ahead with. I don't see it being a character shard or a gear 12 pieces or anything like that. I think it's going to be something a little bit more common.
Right.
Well, I could see mod slicing materials being, or maybe even mods being a major component to this. I don't think golly, if they give out like a full Gear 12 Plus piece for anybody that wins,
That would be sick.
You know,
That would be sick.
it's just, except for it'd be sick for the 15 people that have the best rosters in the game.
Right.
And just full further in. But they'd be fine. I mean, they've put in the time. I mean, and the money. That
Listen, it's not just about your roster, Maurice. It's about how you use it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about how you use it.
Yeah.
All right. But, no, I think it could be cool. What's funny is last week or the week before we were talking about a game mode coming out. And we were saying that we'd like to have something daily that you could do where you could just kind of do it on your own and get rewards for it and it not really affect anybody else in the guilds. And it was like pretty much exactly this, but somebody wrote in the comments of the live show that week that they were like, Maurice, you do have that every day. It's Galactic War, and I thought it was kind of funny because it's like the way you described it. It literally is Galactic War, but nobody. I mean, now that you can sim Galactic War, who wants to do it anymore? Unless you're testing out a new character or something like that. That's kind of low geared or something like that. I mean, that's where you test out like Jango Fett if you don't have a high level Jango Fett, But it's yeah. I mean, Galactic War has become all but just. I mean, pointless at this point. It's just a place to get. I just basically sim my Galactic War, as a way to get rid of those tickets. I mean, I'm never going to have any circumstance in life where I think I'll ever get close to using all my sim tickets. But
don't say that. They bring back some sort of tournament and sim tickets to enter instead of ally points this time.
I said that about ally points and spent 800,000 of them, and then they came out with the whale store the very next day. So.
Right, yeah. So, another thing that's added to this update is player-controlled payout / time zone changes. So, the single most common quality of life request we've heard in recent months is to allow players to control payout / time zone changes, like the server sharding system. This was a feature that worked for a time, but we recognize that you live all over the world and live complicated lives, and the forced 6 p.m. in the time zone you originally logged in on has been a great inconvenience for many of you. So basically what they're saying is that you're going to be able to now pick what time zone that you're in. Now, is this basically like, do you think this is going to mean like if you you're going to basically do it and it's going to set you where you are? Or is this going to be a situation where you're going to be able to pick, like, I want to be in Japan, or I want to be in, wherever you want to be, and you'll be able to actually just pick yourself what time zone you're in?
Good Lord, I hope so. I think I was so surprised reading this update. Like, I think this is this is the best thing they've ever, this page is the best thing they've ever given us for me. I love it. And this time zone change, I feel like I'm in a dream right now because I have no idea why they would do this as a company, because everybody right now is just pouring crystals into Arena, trying to maintain their top spots. And I'm sure that by now they've made as much, money off of crystal refreshes as they have off of Revan. I've spent, hundreds just trying to beat Revan without Revan. And so I was very surprised at this update. It reads to me like you can change up to 2 times a year, because I know that people already were able to apply to, and they had to bring some sort of piece of proof of them moving. Right. And but it doesn't say that in here, and I don't know why they would advertise it if it was so specific to just people moving. So to me it reads like that I don't have to, ignore my child and I can, have Arena at 9:00 p.m. at night my time, which would be fantastic.
Which is cool, but I mean, then again, think about this, right? I mean, this could be easily manipulated. And what I'm saying by that is that, most people have a shard chat at this point. I mean, if you've been playing this game for 2 years, you're probably in a group chat on Discord or Line or whatever you use, and you're talking to other people in your arena. And, some people are still competitive about it. Some people share their payouts. Everybody's got a different scenario going on. But for those that are working together, you can basically just set it up so that, let's say you have a lot of people on the shard that have 7 p.m. payouts or 6 p.m. payouts, you can now say, okay, guys, 3 of us are going to go to, 1 in the afternoon. 4 of us are going to go to 1 a.m. in the morning. You can set it up with your friends so that it works for everybody, right? And I don't know. I mean, I also find it kind of weird that they're doing this, because you'd figure that that means now that there's going to be a lot more people getting their payout, so there'll be a lot more free crystals going around, because there'll be less people having to share a certain specific times. Like right now, I have a payout with 7 other people at 6 p.m. It's a very popular payout time, the EST payout time. If we all decided to, let's say, half of us were going to go to, 11 p.m. and then the other half we're going to stay at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Now all of a sudden, we're divvying up the slots, so more frequently we're going to be able to get rank 1 on the arena, meaning less reason to buy crystals. So I do find it kind of weird that they did that.
Well, okay, I think it's great. I think it's great they're offering this option, but what's going to happen is everyone's going to be like, oh, it's too soon after work, I have to feed the kids, I'm driving home from work, I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Let's make my payout at 10 or 11 p.m. And then they're going to do that along with everybody else on the shard. So you're going to have 35 people in the Hawaii time zone, because that's convenient for them, because they can play their arena right before they go to bed.
Right.
And then I'm staying put. There's 7 or 8 people in my payout, and I'm sure a few of them are going to leave because we have the busiest payout on the arena shard. So those guys will leave out. And there's only 40 or maybe 50 people on the arena chat, but there's hundreds of other players that are on the shard that you don't talk to, and those guys are probably thinking the same thing. Well, I can't climb this time. Maybe if I try this, this other time zone. So, I think they say it in the post. If you live in Hawaii, you're going to go from playing by yourself to competing with 45 other people for your arena shard now.
Right. Yeah. Some people who work nice and cozy with that, being the only person.
Yeah, like the Australians that just you can always tell if somebody's from Australia or Hawaii, because it's literally first place every single day, because they have hours to climb and then they just sit there for hours. It's like a flat line across the top one. And it's just, we'll see. I mean, I think this is a great change. I'm not being negative at all about it. I'm semi-joking, but...
No, it's great.
This could also be them, a little bit of a remedial measure, because I have no idea what they anticipated about Revan, but there's a lot of frustration around just even people who have Revan versus Revan matches are, can be very unpredictable, and there's a lot of frustration in Arena right now, and I think that there's a lot of people kind of getting frustrated with the game, so this might be a way to kind of just meet, I have no idea, but this, I would do this, to something has to be done to mediate the frustration in Arena, and I think this will help a lot for some people. If you're fighting, you are gonna race like 8 people and you're all climbing at the same time, and you've got this such an overlap, and it's also punishing people in areas of the world that have a lot of people playing the game, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't make your payout, it's better to fight other people for the same payout than not make it at all, I guess. I mean, I wonder how long. If we can just, it says in the post you can do it. We know so little about this, guys. Most of this is speculation. You can do it twice a year.
Speculation.
Yeah.
I was going to correct you.
But it says in the post, you can do it twice a year. Is that any time that you want, or is there going to be a hot period where you get 1 week to change your time, or 24 hours to change your time zone? Just be a panic, and everyone's just in a frenzy switching their time zones, and I wonder if there's going to be time to coordinate it with your shard chat, because there's a guy on mine. He's West Coast, and everyone in the West Coast pad has all quit over the years, and he's literally by himself. And I was thinking about reaching out to him, but hey man, I'm thinking about moving to your time zone. I'll take second place every day. I would much rather just calmly climb to second place and take it every day, and then have to sit here and fight with everyone trying to snipe us. We have a payout, but a shard chat, but there's others in there. It's just, I don't know. We'll have to see.
it's definitely interesting, you know. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some situations.
Okay, JVU said that Carrie said we get 2 time change tokens.
Will these be mailed to us? I'm excited.
2 time change tokens. I'm in with that. That sounds cool. I mean, do you remember when we used to get those tickets, like the tickets for training droids and credits?
Yeah, you can play those events.
Yeah, you can just open up an event for 24 hours and you get tickets.
Yeah. Those are so stupid. At first, they were so broken, you could just easily manipulate it for like millions of coins. And then they fixed it to where you could get like, you'd spend like crystals to open this event or whatever it was, and you get like,
it was like
literally
it was like
200 coins,
like 26k credits. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
like the max you could get was like 34k credits. It was like, why would anybody do this? Anyway, those were dark times in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But
a few of the people in the chat are kind of freaking out. We're not trying to scare you guys. Again, this is all speculation, and who knows what happens. I mean, I'm content with my payout. There's just too many people in it.
There's lots of payouts in the world too. Like, okay, for those listening right now, here's a little tip. Newfoundland works on the half hour in Canada. And like, I think like 500 people live there, very close to Eastern Standard Time. There's so many payouts. There's payouts in South, like, not payouts. There's so many time zones in South America. Like there's only so many people who are gonna be climbing up still. I think it's just going to be better for those who are making it up to the top, to the bridge, to the gaps anyway, to like, the 100, the 50, the top 10, it's going to make it easier for them. I don't see this as anything but good. I'm possibly completely wrong, but
I think I want to pay out on the half hour. I think that's what I'm doing. That sounds like a good idea.
That would mess me up until I use my second time change token to stop. That would mess me up.
All right, so new content, KOTOR companions are coming. So with the release of Jedi Knight Revan, we brought one of the most often requested characters into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The excitement in the community has been palpable for weeks. And watching many of you join forces to solve the reveal cipher was a truly special moment for the game team to watch. Now, we're excited to continue the celebration of the 15th anniversary of KOTOR with additional companions in the coming weeks. Keep an eye out for an upcoming announcement about which Old Republic era characters are coming to the holotable next. So, let's kind of talk about this a little bit. So, new KOTOR characters are coming. Now, they're saying KOTOR era, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be from the original KOTOR game. So that means, that kind of opens the door for both the Sith Lords game and for KOTOR as well. Maybe even just Old Republic. So I mean, that opens the door for a lot of different characters. I mean, what do you guys think here? I mean, do you think we're getting... you think we're getting, Darth Malak here? Like, what do you guys think?
I think we're getting Dark Side Revan.
We're getting Dark Side Revan?
I mean...
Already?
Well, I mean, not already. Like, I'd imagine these characters we're speaking of are going to be released in a marquee type fashion. Just spam a bunch of marquees at us. They'll probably throw in some other stuff along with KOTOR to kind of keep us on our toes and keep us unprepared. Because they can't replicate the way they did Jedi Knight Revan, right? Because that's too predictable. Like that, I think there will be a little bit of change and like a little switch up, if you will, and maybe have some multiple, like lots of companions. It's odd. Is it odd? Anyone else they called them
companions? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Why?
It's the politically correct term for animated characters.
No, a companion is like a parrot that rides my shoulder, not a,
No. There has to be some reason they called it companions. Like, companions doesn't make me think Darth Malak. It doesn't.
Makes me think Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, right. It makes me think like Mission Vow and Zalbar. That's what it makes me think. Like those kind of characters. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I guess the door is kind of open there for a lot of different types of characters, but I mean, you know, who would you guys?
Well, they could.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who would you guys like to see most?
Well, probably gonna be Malik. God, I really wish they'd get off the Sith. Let's do another dark side faction. Give the, you know, I mean, obviously Empire aren't gonna get any love in this, but I mean, let's do something else. Like, it's either it goes Sith, then we have some sort of light side meta, then it goes back to Sith, and now we have another different light side meta. It'd be nice to have a different dark side meta. I guess we got the Night Sister for a while, so I don't know.
Sith aren't really that. I mean, we have the Triumvirate, of course, but they're not that. That's pretty much it. Like EP Invader, I don't know. Dooku is super lacking. Sidious is a joke. You know, there's a lot to do.
Hey,
I think Empire.
Don't talk
Empire. There's
nasty.
so many more.
Don't talk
better tunes.
Don't talk negatively about Darth Sidious. Okay, come on.
Hey, I've got the Zeta too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think that you know, the Sith had like a small window of time where they were finally given some light. I guess the Darth Maul era too was really like a Sith time too.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of shocked that they so quickly went back to a Sith meta with Traya. But you know, now we're back to Jedi, and I think that we're going to be seeing Jedi for a little while here. I kind of, the next part of this conversation here, now I'll tell you a little bit later on what I think is coming from KOTOR, but this is probably a little bit more of an interesting conversation here is the original trilogy. So we got the original Chewbacca recently, and what they're saying here is that to round out the year, we're going to continue to explore the original trilogy universe. While we've dipped into this era previously, there are still so many iconic characters and ships that we want to bring to the game from this time period. You could definitely count on some teasers and puzzles from Crumb in the coming months. Stay tuned. So, okay, Millennium Falcon?
Yes, please.
I mean,
that's
Yeah.
so many iconic characters and ships.
Yeah.
this screen.
It felt like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it felt like it felt like it just should have said so many iconic ships. You know, like, are we gonna get more characters? I don't know, but I mean that's the one we're waiting for. I mean C-3PO we're missing. I feel like I'm gonna lay down and protest when he comes because I really don't see, other than like an Ewok synergy, what that droid is gonna do for anybody. He's a traitor and he's like an awful little thing. It's funny, but
right. I don't know. I mean, listen, all the other droids in the game, they've actually done something physical, like in the movies. Like BB-8 actually does kind of join the fight in The Last Jedi. R2-D2, you've seen him, you know, burn up a bunch of stormtroopers, you know, you know, on the Death Star, or he's battled against. You've seen R2-D2 do things.
absolutely.
Whereas,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I can't imagine C-3PO doing anything. The only thing I can imagine is and I do think C-3PO is one of the characters they're talking about here, because I think we're getting the Millennium Falcon, and I think we're getting C-3PO, and I think that C-3PO, when he comes, I think he's going to be more like a Hermit Yoda, right? Where like he just kind of does things maybe for droids and for rebels without actually physically harming the other team in any way. I think he's just going to give bonuses to his team. That's what I think.
But he just hinders everyone. Like Chewie's got to carry him around. Like he's constantly like fleeing and running away from stuff and like distracting R2 from doing his job. I don't know. What's he gonna do? I mean he is quite like he'll go with any faction. I think like that's kind of an essence of C-3PO. Like he's just like, okay, I'm with you now. Like he's not super loyal like R2. So he might, you know, R2 fits on a lot of different teams, but I think that C-3PO, that'll be something that C-3PO does. maybe for the droids, but I think he might fit on any team. He might, I don't know, the like translator piece. He might have some ability to like, have synergy between factions. I don't know. Something's got to be there too with the translation piece.
Yeah, I think that he'll kind of help out a lot of factions. I think he'll also have like an Ewok synergy, like you were saying, which would be pretty cool. But it would be silly if they didn't include some sort of an Ewok bonus or like something to do with the Ewoks. I think they have to. Well, we'll see. I mean, I definitely think that the two main things that we're talking about here are definitely C-3PO and the Millennium Falcon. I think it's too soon for that to be. I don't think we're getting another Leia right now. I don't think we're getting another Luke yet. I think Jedi Luke is coming. Okay, definitely, probably next year. But I don't think it's coming yet. I don't see them rounding out the year with Jedi Luke. I think Jedi Luke will probably be sometime, maybe second quarter next year, maybe sometime end of the year next year. I think there's going to be a lot of lead up to Episode 9, so it's not going to be at the end of the year. But I think maybe sometime in the maybe right before the summer, we'll get like Jedi Luke. And then, as they round out Episode 9, the following year we'll get the Old Man Luke character, which, he'll probably just, he'll just force project himself there and then die in the first 30 seconds of the battle.
I wonder if we're gonna need like maxed out Jawas to get C-3PO.
I think it'll be Ewoks. Right? I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of people
make us gear both factions. They could make us gear both factions that way. They could get the Jawas, and then we'd have to gear them, and then he works like so well with Ewoks, and then we'd have to gear them.
It would be cool if you were using Ewoks and fighting against, like the Empire, and then if you want, if you win the battle, then you get a 7-star C-3PO. But I don't know. I definitely think he'll be like a legendary character. I don't think he's going to be like a marquee or anything like that. But we'll have to see. I don't know what a legendary C-3PO looks like. He's definitely probably the least desirable of all the characters from the original trilogy that I could think of.
That's why they'll make him the best.
Even Chewie, I was like, Chewie. I'm interested, but I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm okay with like not getting Chewie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not me.
But C-3PO, I mean, I want him, but like, I mean, he's not. He doesn't have the same pizzazz as like Princess Leia or Han Solo or any of those other characters, but
yeah, he's a comic relief, right?
Pretty much. So they also are talking about the anniversary of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So it's crazy to think about it, but we're coming up on 3 years now playing this game, and. Last but certainly not least, CG Carey said 3 years ago we started an amazing journey that, thanks to you, continues to this day, and we are so incredibly grateful to all of you for continuing to be members of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community. We've always thought that you guys like a massively multiplayer online community and want to honor the investment you've continued to make in our gaming team. We have some gifts and events planned for everyone to celebrate with us. We will share more details closer to the start of the event. I look forward to the next 3 years as the stories we have to tell continue to unfold. So basically, I mean, they're saying that they're going to have some events coming up and some bonuses or some gifts coming up. Last year, what did they do? They gave us like crystals every day, or I forget what they did.
They gave us a Zeta.
Like a full Zeta, right?
Yeah, like a full Zeta.
I get them confused. Like, there's the actual anniversary of the day of the game. There's like May the 4th. Then there's like Star Wars Day, and then there's so many anniversaries. Like, I know one time they gave us new stuff every day for like a week, right? One of those. It was just like for logging in. Like you didn't have to do any event, you didn't need any characters. They gave you stuff. Like one day it was like a laughable amount of coins, and then the next day it was like a full Carboni.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember exactly what that was for, but there's always there'll probably be like specials on crystals, like the 25% off or whatever they are, the boosted, crystal packs.
Well, you're talking.
I remember.
Go ahead. What you're talking about. Talking about is that when they did the quality of life update, they gave you like to go in and like read the blog, you got like a bonus for it. I think.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I remember everyone just being up in arms that first day when they gave us the coins or whatever it was, and then everyone shut their mouths the next day when they gave us a Carbonti. It was like,
yeah, because it was like 200 coins, like 200 credits. Thank you for watching this video. Here's 200 credits. Like, wait a second.
that is crazy. Yeah, I mean, but. A full Carbonti, I'll take any day of the week. I'll take it.
I got one today from the Rancor.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, a full Carbonti, of stun cuffs. I mean, any of that stuff, I'll take it. And a full Zeta, yes, they gave us a full Zeta last year for the anniversary last year. And then I think they also gave us crystals. And
they sure did, because I slapped it right on Barris. I was like, yes.
And I think they gave us credits too. I think they gave us some event too last year, but I mean maybe I'm just silly. I don't know, but yeah. So they're gonna have some stuff coming up, and it's on November 24th. I think is the date that the game had its anniversary, right?
Yeah, because it was shortly after the first of the new movies, I think, because when I logged it, I started very early December, like a few weeks late, but. They were just spamming. They basically gave me Phasma, First Order Stormtrooper. They gave away a bunch of the 2 and 3 star First Order. I think they gave me a Kylo Ren for reaching a certain level or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was all about the First Order and Resistance.
Well, it was released on November 9th, 2015. But they don't have to celebrate it the day it was released, so.
Well, they're not going to.
Obviously they're not going to. Yeah. So I mean, it's probably going to happen the week of Thanksgiving, I'd imagine. So, we'll see.
Yeah, they usually do something right around there. People are like chill and with their families and looking at their phones.
That'd be a good day to release. Yeah, this new territory. What I don't want them to do is release this new game mode at like Monday at like 1:30 in the afternoon my time, because just like we'll be able to access it like at home. I hope
Thanksgiving weekends when they released the Dark Side territory battles last year.
Yeah, it was perfect because everyone had time to look at it and learn it and talk to their guildmates, because yes, it's holiday.
That wasn't supposed to come for like another 3 weeks. Like they told us like literally the day before, like, okay, Dark Side territory battles is coming on December 18th or something like that. And we're like, okay. And then like 2 days later, they're like, all right, Dark Side territory battles is coming on Friday. I was like,
yeah, just kidding.
What? All right. We hadn't seen anything yet. But they also gave us Omegas last year besides the Zetas. So we'll see.
Yes, thank you, Jay Swizzy Swole. Thank you.
I'm sure they'll create some new mats soon too. We gotta look forward. We're gonna get the alpha mats soon. What do you guys think?
Yes, we'll get the alpha mats, and then we'll get the slicing materials to take the mods from 6E to 6D.
Yes. We're definitely getting new mats at some time soon. I mean, Zetas have been around for a while now, and Zetas are becoming more plentiful. And I think pretty soon, like whenever level cap in Greece is definitely coming soon too. I can't believe it hasn't happened yet. But
same, man. I'm shocked.
I would imagine
that last piece.
That last piece. I'm shocked that it's going to happen in the beginning of next year for sure.
Yeah.
They've run out of colors though for the mods. They're done. They can't do any more gear levels. What could it be? They've backed themselves into a corner.
I don't think they'll do anything more with the mod levels, but I think that they'll do more with definitely more with I think we'll get more gear tiers and I think we'll get more. I think we'll get more. I think we'll get level cap increased to 90, and I think the end game is 100. That's my opinion. But
well, the characters don't need to be any higher than that. Cause now we have this new mod system. You know, like if they want the characters to progress, you know, then they release the 6D, then 6C, then 6B, then 6A. And then you can slice them up to 7 dot, then just 7E, 7. Just slowly stagger the release of these mod increases over the next, you know, decade, you know, or however long this game lasts. I mean, I think that was a wise, pretty smart move on their part, just slowly making the mods get a little bit better, a little bit better. You know, if there's ever like a lull in content, they can just drop 6D on us. Here, guys, here's some new mod max. You know, just.
Guys, we've introduced the 8th star. All your characters are now 1 star lower than they should than max. You know. Yeah,
that'll be the last. That'll be my final.
That'll be my final
day playing this game.
Playing this game.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh well. Yeah, let me farm this houndstooth node and the hard node, the 20 hard node.
200 shards.
Taking like 2.5 years. Get a character 8 shards, 8 stars.
200 shards to get your character to 8 stars. Yeah. Listen, there are games like that. I mean, like, you know, in other games I play, you know, the shard amounts are like ridiculously high. It's like unfathomable how long it'll take for you to get a map. In the Power Rangers game I play, I still do not have one maxed out character. I've been playing for 2 years. I don't have one maxed out character. Not one. You know, it's nuts. The last tier for like a regular character, like they have different tiers of characters. They have legendary and regular. A regular character, the last tier, you need 50,000 shards to get the character to the last tier. 50,000. It's nuts. It's nuts. But
Albin Rubens, I've got your question, man. He really wants to know about some Return of the Jedi Luke stuff. we take questions. We will answer at the end of the show. I got you, man. You're on the list.
All right, so we're gonna move on now. Back to let me just get back to the game arena here. But we're gonna do our meta report and then the top 5, and then we'll get into some gameplay. I'll do some arena battles and we'll do the questions and answers after we get done with the top 5. But let's dive in here and we'll take a look. Now this is a look at the meta report from last week, or not last week, the week before. So I just want to show you guys the difference over the last 2 weeks. So you saw that Revan had taken over Darth Traya about 2 weeks ago, and we started to see, you know, some of these Jedi characters move up on the squad members list. But now you can see with the new update, or with the most recent meta report, we're looking at an even more drastic change, and you can see that Jedi Knight Revan's actually taken over half the pie now. So he's completely trumped Darth Traya. And we're looking. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts? I didn't think that many people were gonna buy this guy.
Yeah, no one would. Oh, we're not buying Revan. Yeah, I'm busted.
2,228 Revans out there. That's
number 1.
Yeah.
That doesn't include all the casual Revan players that just kind of bought him because they're a collector and have no idea how to use him, or, you know, just the people that just, you know, earn a bad payout. They can't climb to first place. You know, this is just the people that are competitive and play consistently to get first place of the Revan. Not all the Revans.
If you go into the units and under Zetas, I was poking in there the other day, and there's 11,500, I think, leadership Zetas for Revan right now. So that's kind of a guesstimate for how many there are in the game.
How many leadership Zetas?
I think there was 11,500.
That's insane.
Let me double check.
That's insane. I thought I was gonna be one of like 5 people on my shard that had Revan, and there were like 20 people that have Revan on my shard.
Yeah, me too.
It's nuts. All right, so So basically behind Revan, we have Traya with 1,200, and then Emperor Palpatine behind her. Darth Maul actually is 4th in the game right now at rank 1 leader. So basically a counter to the Revan squads. Darth Maul with an Emphy's Nest seems to be the most popular counter option besides a Darth Traya team or a Palpatine team. You still have some Bastila Shans out there, some CLS teams, a few Rey Jedi trainings, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Kira rounds out the top 10 as the number 10 leader at rank 1.
Kira taking up the last slice of the pie with 8.
Eight people. You 8 Kiras out there. God bless you.
Rock on. No, that's awesome.
Go girls.
Go. You go. Okay, you guys are just dominating Revan out there. You Kiras, keep it going. Okay, so that's our top 10 leaders at rank 1. Moving along now to our top 10 squad members at rank 1. Last week, Darth Nihilus was still at the top spot with Darth Sion behind him, Grandmaster Yoda, Darth Traya, Revan behind her. So, I mean, the Sith were still somewhat in the top tier here. Not anymore. Let's take a look at this week's meta report. Grandmaster Yoda is now the number 1 character in the top 10 squad members list, with Jedi Knight Revan behind him, General Kenobi, Bastila Shan, and Jolee Bindo. They've completely wiped out all the Sith characters from the top 5, actually the top 6. The first Sith you're going to see here is Darth Nihilus at rank 6, and then Darth Sion rank 7, Darth Traya rank 8, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then rounding out the top 10 is Hermit Yoda. So a much different list than we saw 2 weeks ago. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, that's poking in the Zetas as well. Jolee Bindo, I was even more surprised to see he has 11,000 Zetas. So Revan's 11,522 for the leadership, and Jolee is 11,000. Like, I didn't think that people would gear him that fast at all. And everybody jumped on the Jolee bandwagon, and I did definitely, and put a Zeta on him, and here we are. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I was hoping for a little bit more of a flexible meta because there's so many Jedi, but it does seem that with those bonuses from the Old Republic, that Jolee and Bastila really help Revan get out in front of another team. If they're not on there, you're struggling with that, to catch up with the 10 speed that he loses.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's over half the game are using that specific comp. That you basically, every arena battle you go in, and just one of the teams basically bores the other team to death, and you finally win with 15 seconds left on the clock. All these people, I'm one of them, just spend literally the full hour playing your arena battles to get into pay. This is awful. I mean, it's good, it's great, it's a great team. A lot of people that, like yourself, Ramon, that love Jedi, this is right up your alley. But my God, arena is so grueling.
I am happier than a pig in carrots, okay, and in a carrot trough. Okay, I am super.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I just made it up. But I mean, I'll be honest with you. If it should be a thing, because honestly, I am super excited about the Jedi being at the top of the arena again. And I mean, Revan is a character that, I mean, much like many of us have wanted in this game for a long time. So, I mean, the fact that he's in here now and he's a Jedi, I'm super stoked. I had to go for it, and I'm glad. He's definitely a meta character. Looks like a lot of other people made that investment too, and it's kind of nuts. Again, I did not expect to see this many. So many people were talking smack when I Zeta's Jolee Bindo too, like that was a bad choice. The only thing I'd like to see different would have been, I wish that we saw some more Mission Vow and Zalbar on here as well, and I also wish that Visas Mar got the Old Republic tag also, and we could use her with Revan as well.
Well, perhaps hit like her and HK-47, maybe a couple of the characters that I'm, maybe they get the tag with this new wave of characters. I mean, because everyone on Reddit, the forums, YouTube, Twitch, every sort of social media, everyone's like, where is HK's Old Republic tag? You know, everyone in the plays this game. I'd be shocked if we didn't get at least him a tag. No rework, just at least the tag as a usable character. It'll probably be after the, you know, the whatever event we're getting, because, I mean, I don't know. I don't imagine they'd let us use HK-47 for a brand new meta-changing character, you know, like Revan has been. Yeah, it's only going to get worse, too. There are still people with undeveloped, you know, Jedi teams. I'd imagine 608 of those Hermit Yodas, I guarantee 605 of them are the people that don't have Jolie yet. You know, because Jolie is definitely the better play, especially in a mirror match. You get Hermit Yoda on the other side, then Grandmaster Yoda just steals the stealth and you can't hit him at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Hermit Yoda's... I tried Hermit Yoda. I used Hermit Yoda before my Jolie. It was frustrating.
Yeah.
But you can throw him in the carrot trough.
The carrot trough. Listen, you know, it's an up-and-coming thing. You guys are going to use it again, I promise. But...
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
No
I'm
question.
a trendsetter, guys. I'm a trendsetter. So, so let's move on. That was the meta report for this week. Now we're going to move on to our top 5, and this week we're doing top 5 possible characters coming to SWGOH from Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. So. Obviously, this being pretty relevant to the recent Road Ahead blog, I wanted to get my thoughts about this out there. That's why we really didn't dive too much into speculation about what characters are coming. I wanted to kind of have a little bit of discussion about this here on the top 10. So the first character at number 5 here that we have is Canderous Ordo. Okay, so Canderous Ordo is a Mandalorian who appears in both the first game and in the Sith Lords as well. And after the game's conclusion, he becomes Mandalore the Preserver, the leader of the Mandalorians. And Mandalore pledges himself and his warriors to the service of the Jedi Exile in Sith Lords. So he helps with the protagonist in the second game. So that's a character that we could possibly be seeing in the new game. Again, there's a lot of different options. Okay, so I mean, I wanted to narrow it down to several, you know, popular choices. There are definitely some options here that could be a little bit more obscure, or maybe just, you know, people that you know, I didn't fit into the top 5 that could be selected or could be brought into the game. But when they say companions, again, I'm thinking to myself, you know, more along the lines of characters like this versus, you know, some Sith and some of the other characters that could possibly be coming. Are you guys aware of this character, the Mandalorian?
He was in the first KOTOR game. He's actually the one I think that you pretty much can. He's the one that brings pretty much the Ebon Hawk to the game, and he's the one that kind of takes off with it and brings it to your team.
Yes,
he's like the original pilot in the game of the Hawk. So I think I definitely think we're getting him, and somebody else. They might be. I'll be quiet. He's probably in the top 5 too. But I think if we were to get, you know, new companions, as long as they're not, you know, some sort of addition to your existing character, I'd imagine we're getting him. I think he would definitely be involved, and perhaps down the line give us a Mandalorian tag, and so he could have both. You know, he'd be Old Republic and he'd be Mandalorian, which would be pretty cool.
Yes. Now, another character. Now, what are your thoughts, T?
No, I'm not a lore. I'm not Lori with the Old Republic, so I'm just learning. But I think definitely a Mandalorian tag is coming. It's one of those ones that we're, you know, constantly asking for, and you know they're gonna eventually give us what we want. And I think it makes sense to kind of, you know, start that here with the Old Republic and the Mandalorian Wars. So
makes sense, and I think they're definitely going to have some more Mandalorians coming from that Mandalorian show that I forgot what his name is, John or Help me, guys. He's from Swingers. John Favreau. Yeah, so John Favreau has the show The Mandalorian coming out, and I'm sure we'll have some characters from that show when it comes to the Disney streaming service next year. So moving along to number 4, we have Bao-Dur. Okay, so Bao-Dur is a Zabrak, kind of like Darth Maul. He's a technician who fought under the command of the Jedi Exile in the Mandalorian Wars. Bao-Dur is the inventor of the mass shadow generator. That's the same machine that created what Darth Nihilus becomes when he becomes, the Lord of Hunger. So he ended the battle on Malachor 5 by completely obliterating the Mandalorian armada and inadvertently killing many Republic soldiers on his own side, leading to a great deal of guilt later in his life. The exile, who much later befriended Bao-Dur, gave command which sent massive echoes in the Force through the galaxy. Bao-Dur is trained as a Jedi Guardian later on, but he's a character in the Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. So he becomes a Jedi Guardian, but he starts off as a technician that created the mass shadow generator. So the mass shadow generator is the machine that Revan activated that kind of ended that war on Malachor 5, and it also led to, like I said, the creation of Darth Nihilus, because his body had been separated from, like, his soul had been separated from his body, and he became this character who is not really fully in physical form. Like, he had to basically steal the Force from others in order to maintain his physical form on this plane. And as time passed, his hunger grew, and he needed more and more Force energy drained in order to actually sustain like a physical form on on the world. But that's where Bao-Dur came from. So that's a possible character. Again, he's a technician. He later became a Jedi Guardian, so he could be introduced as a Jedi, but we'll have to see if he's one of the characters that they select. Definitely an important character because he invented the mass shadow generator. But that's our number 4 KOTOR character, possibly coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to our number 3 possibility, we're going to be looking at Kreia. Okay, so I know what you guys are thinking. We just got Darth Treya, so this is not possible. And you're right. I mean, do I think that Darth Treya is going to come out in the same year as Kreia? No, but I do think that we are eventually going to get Kreia, the light side version of Darth Treya, when she was a Jedi. She used to be a Jedi, and she was actually the master that trained Darth Revan when he was a Jedi. So she has a very colorful and interesting history that goes way beyond her just being a dark side character. She's one of the most manipulative characters in the series, and yes, she ultimately does go to the dark side because of her because of her open-mindedness and basically looking towards other ways besides the ways of the Jedi. She learns, some of the ways of the dark side, and, she turns from light to dark. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get Kreia at some point?
I think in the post, they kind of... Didn't they kind of make it seem like we're getting dark side companions? Like, I don't know if I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I played the first game. I've never played the second game. I don't know much past the first game in terms of lore. So perhaps
we were talking a little bit before this show. Like, there's all of these characters, like Malak and Kreia, and that I just don't see as being a marquee. And I mean, could they pack so many legendaries? I mean, the legendaries seem to be lining up. If these guys aren't. They're not coming out as a marquee. Like, there's no way Kreia could be a marquee.
Right.
When Treya is, takes so much effort to get. So I mean, definitely it makes sense to have her. But yeah, how would she come? Like, not a new raid, I don't think, but it makes sense to have her.
Yeah, I think down the road we may see her. I think it's a little bit too soon to see her in the game, end of this year. But yeah, I mean, she's a light side Jedi, so again, this is another way that they could kind of revitalize the Jedi down the road after they fall out of the meta down the road at some point. But
well, I mean, we talked about that new game mode, right? I mean, I would be willing to bet that there's some sort of character-specific shard that you could get. Like only the top, 4 guys get it, or the top 3. Maybe first place gets you 5, second place gets you 3, third place gets you 1 shard, or something ridiculous. Because they're not going to make this game mode. It's going to be optional, yes, but they're not going to make it to where people aren't interested. There's going to be something involved with the prizes that keep people playing it.
It's not going to actually be optional. Like if you're competitive in the game, there's no way it's going to actually be
100%.
optional.
It's optional to play, but if you want to remain competitive, there will be something involved that you have to have, right? Like oh my god, you have to have it. But
and I'm gonna go back on what I said before, that it's not gonna be character shards. I think just hearing you say that, it's like it could be like a raid. If there's those, those 8 matchups, and then the first, and it just kind of goes down like a raid, and everybody gets shards. So if you, just sign up or however it works, you're still gonna get 1 or 3 or whatever. It's just like the Rancor. It's just gonna take you forever to unlock a tune. That makes a lot of sense. Yikes. Okay.
I really actually kind of the way you explained it, Maurice, it makes me think that yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
Will it be Kreia? I don't know. I don't know who.
Maybe it'll be Malik. But I mean, it'll definitely be. I think it'll be somebody. I think you're right. That makes a lot of sense, and that's also why they were completely so vague about what the rewards are. Because they would say like you'll get gear or something. They would say something, what I mean? Like, so they kind of left that open. So I would say, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Because I'm sure they're looking for new ways to release characters that aren't just marquee and legendary events. This would be a very interesting way to do that for sure. But that's our number 3 possible character coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes from KOTOR. Moving along to our number 2, and this is probably the most likely character to come into this game, in my opinion. This is what I was going to say earlier. I think that if we're talking about a companion, and we're talking about a character that could be a marquee character and not have to be a legendary character, I think we're talking about Carth Onasi. Okay, so Carth is actually the main character from the... he's one of the main characters from the original KOTOR, and he's actually the first person that you meet in the game. So Carth is a soldier and expert Republic pilot, also the first character to become a party member in the first game. He's a romancing option for female Revan. During the Mandalorian Wars, Carth served under Admiral Saul Karath, who would become his mentor and later object of revenge. He met Revan while the two were fleeing the Endar Spire following a Sith attack on the ship. Since then, he became a party member. Carth Onasi was considered to have been replaced by Aton Rand in the second game. So, I mean, basically, Carth Onasi is that very first character that kind of introduces you into the game and how to pick things up and how to get yourself dressed and all these other things. He kind of shows you how to maneuver in that first stage of the game, and he's also your first companion that you walk around within the game, period. So I mean, he's one of the main characters from the original KOTOR, and he's definitely somebody that a lot of people have wondered if he's going to be coming into the game at some point, because he's such a popular character. I think that if anybody is coming in a marquee form that is going to be a companion from KOTOR, I think this is the guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually a little surprised he wasn't included in the first wave, because I mean, you really do spend probably the first quarter of the game with him in your party just because just by default. You know, later on you can change him out for, you know, cooler characters, but he's still a good companion in the first game. I like him. I used him the majority of the game. Yeah, I'm shocked. He is definitely one of the more main characters.
I enjoy like letting him down all the time, you know, like whenever like he like ask questions, it's like you want to go help them out? They need help. It's like, no, I don't care about that. You know, just you know, it's like he's just such a like a good guy, you know. But you know, you can choose your destiny in that game. So yeah, you can decide to do, you know, light side things or dark side things, and you know, the more you do, the way it affects the gameplay. That's why that game is such an interesting game and such a cool game, is because you can really have completely different outcomes at the end based upon your gameplay and the decisions that you make while you play. So it's interesting, and again, this is one of those characters that I think has to come into the game at some point because he's just such a vital character, such an important character to that first game. And if you're talking about KOTOR companions, Carth Onasi is the poster boy for companion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's our number 2 character that we'd like to see in the game. Our number 1, I think this is going to go without without question here, is going to be Darth Malak. So yes, I mean, would this be the ultimate awesome character to round out the year here, to have Darth Malak kind of come in and, you know, they give us a wave of Jedi and the Jedi kind of dominate, and then all of a sudden, bang, Darth Malak comes into the game and the Sith are on top again. And not only do you have the triumvirate, but now you have this really OP Sith Darth Malak that eventually leads to the unlocking of Darth Revan, the dark side version of Revan, at some point down the road. What are your guys' thoughts?
Oh, 100%. Well, I really do think we'll have Darth Malak. A lot of people were predicting him to be the, you know, legendary event that Revan was for us. Like, a lot of people thought he was going to be the first one that we got. I definitely think we'll get him, and this could be the reward for that new game mode or something like that, because he is such a iconic character. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. And it's, I don't know, like, I think of all of the legendaries kind of fitting together. I think that, you know, it's, once I think we've learned, I don't know, they might completely change it up. It might not be that they are releasing some marquee characters and that those marquee characters are for Darth Malak, and then Darth Malak, you need to get Darth Revan. Like, they're it feels like they're going to trick us. But I think, you know, now is the time to, you know, learn from what we've known in the past and, you know, save crystals. You know, if you're doing Revan now and all those characters, then, you know, go ahead and you know, keep grinding that out, and then save and be prepared for the next thing that's coming, because it's just going to keep coming, I think. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Well, the game's clearly different than it was when we first started. Like, there'd be lulls in content. We'd be like, "Oh, we're bored," you know. And now it's just we're gonna get it's moving more towards the you know, like the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, the games with like weekly banners, right? That's our marquees here. You know, like there's new characters every week, every other week, whatever the case is. Always something new. They're gonna keep us doing stuff constantly, which is good. You know, with so much new stuff, if you miss one thing, you know, it's not the end of the world. I mean, if you don't spend thousands of dollars in this game, you're gonna have to skip some stuff. And I don't even know where I'm going with this rant, so I'll just stop. But I lost my train of thought in the middle of that. Sorry.
I was intrigued, if it helps.
I was interested in what you were saying, Maurice. I think it was great. But
I'm actually watching your screen, and safe to assume we have an honorable mention, or no?
Yes, we do. So our honorable mention is Mitra Surik. So for those of you that don't know who she is, she's actually the main character, the protagonist in the Sith Lords game. She's also known as the Jedi Exile in the game. And after the Mandalorian Wars, she chose to disobey the orders of the Jedi High Council and aid the Galactic Republic in its war against invading Mandalorian Neo-Crusaders. Rising to the rank of Jedi Knight during the conflict, she served with distinction under the command of fellow Crusaders Revan and Malak, and was eventually commissioned as a general in the Republic military. Surik played a vital role in defeating the Mandalorians during the later stages of the conflict, but as a direct result of her controversial actions during the cataclysmic final battle, she eventually cut her connections to the Force. Afterwards, out of all those who went to war, she was the only Jedi to avoid the call of the dark side and return to the Jedi Council to be judged for her crimes. After being exiled from the Jedi Order, she wandered the periphery of known space for nearly a decade before returning to the Republic during the Dark Wars at the height of the First Jedi Purge. Caught up in schemes of various mysterious factions, she was swiftly drawn into the ongoing conflict and became instrumental in engineering the defeat of the Sith Triumvirate, ruled by Darth Nihilus, Darth Sion, and Darth Traya. So basically, she is the main character from the Sith Lords, the KOTOR 2 game, and she is a character that in the game is kind of unnamed, like, you know, it's a generic character, kind of like Revan is in the first KOTOR, but later on they named her canonically Mitra Surik, and she's canonically a female character, and she is somebody who trained as a Jedi with Revan and Malak, and you know, what you're seeing here is a version of her as a Force ghost when she's talking to Revan in a later version of the game, or you know, an update that came later on in the game. But Mitra Surik is being the main protagonist in one of the games. Definitely a character that we're probably going to see in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes at some point. She's a Jedi exile, so she's definitely going to have either a Jedi faction tag or be light side. She never turned to the dark side ever, and she was instrumental in bringing back Revan to the battle at the end, where he does fight the dark side version of himself. If you guys know about the expanded game, the Revan expansion to the game, so she's definitely an important character and somebody we could see in the game at some point. Again, I think that she's going to be one of these companions that we see over the next 30 days. I don't think so, but she's definitely somebody who I'd like to see in the game, and I think will eventually make it into the game at some point. But that's our top 5 for this week. Again, that's top 5 characters possibly coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes from Knights of the Old Republic. If you guys did like that and you like this kind of thing, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to get back into some gameplay here. Maurice, you're back on camera. You turned your camera off. So we're going to do some arena battles, and while we do that, we're going to answer some questions. So we also happen to have the expertise of T-Money here as well to help us answer some of these questions. So fire away, Maurice. What have we got so far?
All right. Let's see. We've got Jay Solo and Tony Richards both asked a similar question. Basically, if we heard about the new Cassian or live action TV series, you think? Let's see. Tony Richards asked, "Think a new Cassian will come down the road? Do you think we'll see any characters from this show? And if so, yeah, what do you think we're getting from the show?"
I think we'll get maybe some other characters that he comes into contact with that are from that era. And it's kind of interesting to think about what the possibilities are, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be other Rogue One characters. We could see, you know, this comes down during the Darth Vader era with Palpatine. And, you know, what I think we could see is possibly, you know, maybe either the... maybe the Grand Inquisitor. You know, we could see some Clone Wars characters like Rex, or you know, I mean, other characters that, we've never seen in a live action form before. I mean, we could possibly get, Ahsoka Tano, a lot of different people that we've never seen in a live action format. So it'd be kind of interesting to see, because I mean, this is going to be a live action show. They've cast the same character who played Cassian in the movie to actually play his character again on the TV show. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but I'm definitely anxious to see, how it works. I think that we're definitely looking at possibly a few different characters, and maybe some Rogue One characters. I mean, maybe we'll see K2SO again, and hopefully we see K2SO again, and things like that. But I don't know. I mean, again, I was more hoping for one of the live action shows to be Knights of the Old Republic based, or at least Old Republic based, like from the past. But maybe maybe they're saving that for a movie, and that's probably the case. So, we'll have to wait and see. What do you?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm super excited about it. I think I'm just kind of looking at it. They're probably not going to get Rogue One tags because it predates the movie, which is kind of where like you're taken off. It's Rogue One sort of thing. Like that's where that term was invented. So he probably won't have a Rogue One tag. Will they be scoundrels? Like I don't know exactly what faction they might be with, but maybe we'll get a K2SO that's actually useful. Maybe like an earlier version of K2SO was a little bit less aloof than the comedic one that we got in the Rogue One movie. So maybe he'll hit a little bit harder, be a little bit more interesting. I mean, I actually do like K2SO in the game with Cassian. I love playing that team in TB, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what it would be like a whole new thing, a whole like
the only
a whole
thing
new faction.
The only thing K2SO was good for in this game was making us all chuckle when he gets stuck in the Running Man loop. That's about the only use he's ever had in this game.
I love when he pops the exposes. It makes it so pleasing to me.
Like I've got him gear 12. I had high hopes for him, and then like he just stands there, eats a bunch of damage, counters for 2,500 crit damage. Just like ugh. So just he was a big disappointment to me. He's decent. Teal's in here saying his Max K2SO is awesome. Some people like him. I don't like him much. I was a little disappointed.
I think I like him because mine's gear 9 and I've invested nothing into him pretty much. So
he's very good under HK. If you can get him to counter constantly and crit, and he just gets massive amounts of turn meter, like him and Chopper both just go so much under an HK lead. But again, it's for little to no damage.
We'll take it from a guy who has to say to K2SO.
Oh yes.
Okay. He's horrible. Okay, he is as bad as advertised. Yeah, he's just
Remember when everyone was so angry? Like, really, you should be angry at Android, because people got a tune that for free and then wasted a bunch of gear on him.
Yeah, Apple used to get out scot-free. Like, yes, not the bullet.
Yeah.
I'm listen. Because we need him for territory wars. I mean, I'm okay with it because ultimately, I mean, I didn't have to put any work into him, and I just wish I could have that Zeta back because I mean, the percentage of protection. I thought because of the amount of times that he attacked, counterattacking. It would add up to more, and it does. It helps out in like raids and things like that. I mean, he does get like he'll get back to having full protection again in a raid, but it's like, for arena, it's just such a waste. I mean, that whole Rogue One team with Jyn Erso has never been a viable arena team, and it's just kind of disappointing. But
yeah,
but that's that. Next question.
Next question. All right. This one comes from Albin Rubens. How to best prepare for Return of the Jedi Luke?
Well, I think that...
Which characters do we need?
I think that there's characters in the game that are
Purely
speculative, but I think that there's characters in the game that haven't come out yet that we're going to need for Return of the Jedi Luke. I don't think that's going to ever be another scenario like what happened with Chewbacca, where we're just going to already have all the characters. Especially for a big-time character like that. I mean, they're going to want to make some money on Return of the Jedi Luke, and I imagine that, you know, it'll probably include C-3PO whenever he comes. I think possibly we could be looking at, you know, let's think Return of the Jedi Luke. We're probably looking at the original Raid Han. We're probably looking at CLS as a necessity. We're probably looking at I don't think old Ben, because old
C-3PO perhaps that we don't have yet.
C-3PO, Chewbacca, and then possibly you know, another character yet to be determined. Maybe a
he's asking Captain Han. Captain Han's an option.
Maybe we'll get another version of Leia at the end there, like a new Leia that's not in the game yet. I don't think it'll be Hoth Leia, because
It'd be really cool if we got like a new Han Solo character, like another Han.
A sixth Han.
That was a joke, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm Honned out.
Yeah,
I
think we all
I'm about
are.
as Honned as I can get.
The Leia that I want most is Endor Leia.
Yes, we could totally get Endor
Leia.
Leia would be probably the Leia that we would get for, you know, Return of the Jedi Luke, in my opinion. So, Endor Leia is totally possible, and you know, we've never even seen. I mean, Hoth Leia, we've seen her in the game files for like years before we actually got her. We've never seen Endor Leia anywhere, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how they roll that out. But I think, like, whenever we see that happen, like whenever we see Endor Leia kind of start making her way into the game, we can start to think to ourselves, like, okay, you know, Return of the Jedi Luke is probably right around the corner.
Yeah, she's gonna be. I mean, I bet she's not a legendary even. I bet she's like a new territory battle reward or something like that. Like it'll be something. It'll be something special for her. It better be CG. We need a good Leia. All of our Leia. We need a good Leia, right?
We got Princess Leia. She's good.
No, she's not.
Nobody
I mean,
agrees,
she's great, but she's
You're
not.
right, good over
She's not an arena, you know. Like we need an arena viable Princess Leia, for goodness sakes.
I agree. We need another Leia.
All right. DSP asks, does Grievous TW boost count as a rework? # save Arnold's channel.
Yeah. Did you see that post? So I think Carrie posted something along the lines of like, we promised Arnold would be the first one to hear about the Grievous rework, but it is like, I think they actually confirmed it's not coming this quarter, and he said he's going to shut down his channel. So I'm curious, has he responded to that? Have you guys seen?
I don't think he has, but yeah, I mean,
oopsie.
Oops. Yeah, I mean,
to delete it seems like a shame. He should just maybe give it to me. I'll take it off his hands.
Yeah,
take good care of it.
Yeah, I think you should hold on to it for him.
Yeah,
that seems like a good deal.
I don't think so. But maybe that's the rework that we get eventually. You know, I don't know, because Arnold made a video about him growing. You know, he is noticeably bigger inside the game. Who knows? As we talked about on our stream the other night, even if that is the rework, it's still kind of underwhelming and nowhere near, you know, not really worth you utilizing a year and a half's worth of shard shop currency to get him. Because he is extremely difficult to get. I haven't seen him in the Fleet store in a long time. I'm not even sure if he's still there. The Fleet Arena, that's where I finished mine, is out of there. Just
I think I just
Lucky
saw him
pop
in
once
there
a
the
week.
other day, and I was shocked. I was like, "Am I in the shard shop? Where am I?" It was weird. Yeah, but I hadn't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I think that he is definitely going to get a rework probably first quarter next year. I mean, I kind of thought it was going to coincide with his release in Battlefront, but you know, it didn't happen. I do think whenever he does come, you know, we're looking at you know, some work on the Separatists too. It's not just going to be him. There's going to be more to it, ships, things like that. So we'll see.
All right, coming in hot. J Solo, Gateway Officer. Why did you change your name to that? That's a mouthful now. J Solo, Gateway Officer. Question: how many Django, Grievous, or GK shards have you got from the mod battles?
I've gotten one Django shard. I haven't gotten any. Actually, no. I got like I think I got like 2 Grievous shards, but I have a 7-star Grievous already. And then I don't think I got a couple of Embo, but that's pretty much it. That's all that's what I was paying attention to, because the other ones are just, you know, duplicates for me.
I'm looking now. I've gotten 0 Django and 0 Embo. I've got a bunch of the other characters I already have. I can't really tell. But it was funny earlier today. I was like, I don't know why everybody's so upset. I mean, I'm getting good drop rates, and I did like a 20 sim right before the show and got 1 Cad Bane shard. So just like, I guess it bounces out. But it's free stuff. It wasn't there before.
Right.
And if you have to farm, if you instead of farming mods, it's worth switching over to get the slicing materials for 3 days at a chance and some extra shards if you need them. I mean, just go back to farming mods like you were. Like, you're gonna need the slicing materials eventually anyway. You might as well get a little extra bang for your energy. I don't see any. I mean, I'll take free stuff anytime. I'll never complain if they just give us, even if the drop rates are atrocious. Like, get Omegas now, guys, and it's like the Cantina with it's like 1% chance to get an Omega. Like, it's still free. I mean, maybe don't spend extra refreshes on the energy trying to get them, but I mean, if you're farming it anyway, even if it's shard shop currency, it's extra. So I'll take it.
Absolutely. I forgot to look at what I was getting there. Let me see what happens here. I got two Mace Windu shards.
All right, this J Swizzy Swole. I probably should have screened this one a little bit. If T-Money, good old Momo, I guess that's me, and Ramon the God, I'm assuming that's you, were legendary or hero journey unlocked, Oxloga heroes would they require? What would be their abilities? If the 3 of us were legendary characters.
Well, I feel like you should be a legendary character, Maurice.
You would definitely need the Geonosians to unlock me. Yeah, definitely need the Geonosians.
All right, let's do this slice real quick. Let's see a speed. Give me speed. Give me speed. 4 speed. Yes. Yes, I'll take
All
it.
right.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So I would say for T-Money, you would definitely need. Let's see. I don't know I don't know what T-Money's favorite faction is.
The Tuskens.
The Tuskens?
No,
Yeah.
I don't want
You
to have
would
the
need-
Tuskens.
We need the 3 Tuskens, and then, or the Jawas maybe.
All the
Something-
Chewies. No, I would be all the
Five-
Chewies.
All the
five-
Chewies.
I would be all the Chewies. Yeah.
5. You need to have 5 Wookiees to unlock T-Money.
5 Wookiees.
And
Yeah.
I think for me it'd be 5 Hans to unlock.
No,
Yes.
To unlock.
there's 4 Chewies, and then I would play like Revan. I'd be in there fighting alongside him.
It sounds like a good deal. Listen, I don't know. I mean, I would like to. I'd like to think that that I'd be worth 5 Hans, but It's a little too early. I keep skipping the I'm not even looking at the characters that are dropping, so I don't even know what I'm getting here. But
Yeah, I did a bunch and I have no idea what I got. I think I got one Embo. Does that make sense? Is Embo?
Yeah.
Like, is it just completely random stuff?
Right
I
here.
don't
So
understand.
I got five right here. Let's take a look. I had 20 battles. Okay, I got 5 Mace Windu, 1 Jedi Knight Guardian, Whoopi, 1 Embo Shard, 1 Nate Nuke Gunray, 1 clone Sergeant, 1 Jedi Consular, 1 Eve Koth, and 1 Dengar Shard.
Are they playing off of the 3 Chewie shards thing again? Like, what's going
I
on?
don't know.
Stand.
Boom! You get 5 Mace Windu though. That's nice.
Yeah, 5 Mace Windu. That's sweet. Yeah. No, I'll take 5. I'll take that Embo Shard. You know, that's pretty cool. Oh, I can do more. I can do more. Okay, I got more battles. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, because boy.
Oh, come on, man. All right, so I got a Magna Guard shard, a Kit Fisto shard, and a Asajj Ventress, and 2 Anakin Skywalkers. This is not even right. I mean, it's like every character. There's so.
My brain hurts trying to like find some association between them.
I don't understand why these characters. It's like so many random characters. Okay, let's give me speed. Okay, let's make up for it. Give me 4 more speed. Oh, 1% defense. Oh. Womp, 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 womp. Yeah, that's disappointing. All right, whatever. It's all right.
Yeah, I feel for you.
It's all right.
I've pretty much pillaged all my mods. I'm down to, I think, 7 secondary speed for greens and like 11 for blues or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm running out. I'm gonna have to. I have started farming again. Actually, I've started farming mods again.
That's like farming for white mods. Take them all to level 12. See which ones you can then farm for the green materials.
Yeah,
strike out. Just start over.
I've gotten. I think so. Somebody told me that if you roll a white mod 1 in 3 times, it'll come up speed, which has not happened for me. I don't know where that information came from, but I found it's about 1 in 5 times, maybe 1 in 6. Sorry, go ahead. Do you know where that came from? So about 1 in 6 times, it'll roll speed, and then you have to roll it up to green. So then there's another 25% chance that it'll roll to whatever 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I've had a little bit of luck with that. I've gotten maybe out of 30 mods, I've gotten maybe 5 double digits, 5 9s or 10s sort of thing. So not too bad, but
not bad.
Meh.
No, I have not. I have not had.
Actually,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna, a couple guys in my guild, they said their best mods started off as green or white mods. Like they're like 25s they've been getting.
25s?
Mm-hmm. They've rolled like from white and green, they're rolling like 25s, 2025s.
I got my first 20 plus speed mod like last week. That's how bad my mods are. I literally had no 20 plus speed mods, and I got lucky. It's from slicing, but it's like in the 2 years that I farmed mods without slicing, I've never had the benefit of a 20 secondary speed pull. Like, and I never had that dance.
It's a good dance to have.
I wish I had that dance. I want the dance.
Yeah, we counted good old Maurice's the other night. It makes me ashamed. I think I have 5 now. He's got 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I added a couple more last few days. I've hit some luck. Hit a hot streak.
Well,
hit a hot streak.
Well, Maurice and CG are in cahoots.
I think so.
Yes, but they're all like 20. Like, I don't have any. I think I have 124, a couple 21s, and all the rest are 20. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't have. Like, there's guys in my shard. You got like 26, 26, 24. Like, ugh. Like, they're Revens. There's no way I'm ever catching their Revens. So that's. I got to build my team super tanky. It's frustrating. Yeah.
Remember that Sky shard? Sky has like a shard that's like, what is it? It's like he has like on his BBA it's like 150 speed or something like that.
Yeah, it's
like ridiculous. It's just, it shouldn't be allowed. But what's that? Do we have any more questions?
Let me see. Unless they just came in. That was the last one.
I have a question, actually.
Yes, go ahead.
What do you think? What's up with the clone, Ramon? Like, what's going on? I'm like very worried. My clones are not geared. I think it was Mobile Gamer suggested that, clones for Droidica, which is just makes my tummy a little bit nervous. Because I think that might be that's very sensible. What's up with the clone? What do you guys think is up with the clones being in the whale shop and all over the place?
Well,
it's not just their helmets, Yeah,
a distraction.
It makes it a distraction. Yeah, no, it makes you think that it has to be something, right? But I don't know. I mean, an event would make a lot of sense because it doesn't seem like they're doing a rework. I don't see why they would release the artwork before they would do a rework. You'd figure they would just do that all together. I don't think that
they did that in the Geonosians. They redid the Geonosian artwork and then never did anything with them except give them a separatist tag.
That's weird,
Yeah,
but I mean, obviously, it has to do with the re-release of the Clone Wars series. They're going to be doing more episodes of the Clone Wars, so that's happening. But I don't know. I mean, I would like to. I would say that yes. I mean, they're probably going to do some sort of an event. That would make sense because doing a clones rework doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe it'll be something like the scoundrels are needed for the credit heist right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll need clones for like a new event that comes out that that gives you some new reward. Maybe it'll be like an ability mat heist.
They need a rework for sure. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
What they need is what I want is a wolf pack tag. You'd have to add some more clones, some wolf pack specific clones, because I don't think Rex. I don't know. Was Rex ever part of the wolf pack? I think he put the wolf on his armor just to honor the wolf pack and kind of like what they did, but I don't think he was officially part of it. But then we could have Plo and 5 more clones, but then 10 clones seems like a lot to have in the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I don't think he was in the wolf pack. I'm looking it up right now. So let's take a look here. Commander Wolf, Sergeant Sinker, Sergeant Boost, Comet, -1129, -1044. Yeah, none of these were are clones that are in the game right now. So, yeah, we could see something like that at some point, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a clone. I don't think it's going to be like anything like legendary or anything like that. I doubt it. The clones are probably eventually going to get reworked at some point, but I think we have a lot of other factions that are going to get it first. Like I don't see that happening right away. I think they just kind of went with a new look for them because of the the re-release of the show, and I think if they were going to do anything with them, it would have been done already. If they're going to add anything else to it, it might be like an event It's kind of like I said, but I don't think it'll be like, I don't think we're getting like a Clone Wars or like a Clones legendary event where you need to have 5 clones to get something. Now that's
what you said earlier. Like we got Chewbacca. Like the players that played a long time had all the bounty hunters. We had to put some gear on them, but we had them. And anybody that's played the game a significant amount of time probably at least has these characters 7-star, just because for a while before they just added up, tons and tons of characters to that guild store. There was really, you're out of stuff to farm. There weren't mod slicing materials in there, and there was just characters. And I don't think it'd be too easy for legendary events.
I kind of agree.
Well, really? No, but like I think that the people who had the bounty hunters found it easy, right? But for me, starting a year later, like I'm among the crew who was, having to try 50 times for Chewie, and I had my bounty hunters kind of, lots of them at gear 11, a couple of them at gear 8, 9 sort of thing. But I don't have my clones done. There's a lot of people who don't have clones done. A lot of people who don't have Ewoks done. I always say, if you ever want to know what legendary is coming, go look at like a 4 million GP roster and see what they're missing, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be something that a lot of people have to struggle and scramble for.
Well, that's a good point. Maybe the money is to be had. We talked earlier about the 4-month-old shard with 20 Revens on it. And maybe the money to be had is from the newer player base for this, because the clones right now, there's not a single YouTuber. I don't even think McMole would recommend clones to a new player now. Like nobody recommends the clones for anything outside of Rex.
Yes, he would. He would recommend the clones.
Like there is absolutely no reason you should have Echo on your roster if your GP is lower than 2 million, 3 million even. Like there's Echo and Cody, they should not be on your team. Like I can understand Clone Sergeant 5s because of the ship, and Rex for just because he's Rex. But the other two, I don't even use Cody in any raid anymore.
My Cody is 252 out of 85 shards right now.
Yeah. I remember when Malia Bean bought Echo out of Chromium packs for like $350. Out of Chromium packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't do that, guys.
Yeah. Like that was when it was like, when a new character came out, they would drop very heavily in Chromium. So like you would get like every pull you would get some shards of that character.
Well, our guild leader, he used to be on the live show with us, McLeod. He when the clones, he was one of the few guys in the guild that had the clones. Like he loved the clones. And he still got them, and I'm not sure if he really loves them anymore or not. But
reason for him to love those clones.
Echo goes into the ocean. Yeah. Yes, he does. DSP, take it away, back
into the ocean. Dartron.
Yes.
Dartron.
Echo goes in the ocean.
Throw Echo in the ocean. Yeah, we need to get Dartron.
Yeah, I want my Cody Zeta back.
We need to get Dartron back on for a live show one day. That'd be cool.
Today. Mr. Wonderful, what are you doing? Just kidding. Well, damn. We did have one question I skipped over. It was from Matthew Richmond. Wouldn't they use Empire Strikes Back characters to get Jedi Luke, just like the other Hero's Journey characters? So would they not use Rolo and Cholo? We might have already covered that, actually. But Rolo and Cholo are feasible, but you're going to have something new in there. You don't have all 5 characters in your roster. Nobody does for an event like that. I don't think. We'll need something. I'd imagine even a future legendary would be needed. Kind of like BB-8 you need for Rey, R2 you need for CLS.
I think T was right on the money with the the Endor Leia. I think that would be makes sense. That's Endor Leia is not in the game, and Hoth Leia is from Empire Strikes Back. She's not from Return of the Jedi. So I would see Endor Leia being kind of the key to the characters from to get Return of the Jedi Luke. I think that you would definitely need another version of Leia for sure. It doesn't make sense to have anybody else but Leia. Leia is like, you know, his sister, and you know, she's probably one of the most important characters in the trilogy. So I don't see them doing, you know, Return of the Jedi Luke without her being a part of that team. But is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much all the questions.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap the stream up here. We've been on for a little while. Again, we're gonna be back again on Sunday night. We just wanted to kind of jump on tonight, talk about the road ahead, and also kind of make up for the missed stream on Sunday because I was, you know, not feeling well. And you know, we'll be back Sunday night at midnight for the live show, and we'll be hopefully getting a little bit more news about some of the stuff that we heard today. Maybe we'll hear some more tomorrow. But either way, we'll be back, and we'll kind of revisit, you know, what we know at that point. We'll do some more battles, and you know, we'll be back with another top 5 and some more gameplay. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I appreciate T joining us tonight, and you know, you guys should definitely check out their live show as well. So when I put the replay up, I'll make sure to include the link to the channel. But the Operation Metaverse channel, you know, check out on Tuesday nights. They do, you know, a live show with, you know, a guest usually, and then they also have a video that they release exclusively on the show that you only get to see there, and then eventually they do release the video for everyone afterwards. But that's the first place to check it out, and they also release regular content as well, like videos throughout the week for you guys to see also. But you guys have anything else you want to add, T?
No, just thanks so much for having me on. It was super fun. I love hearing you talk about lore. I love talking about the show. So yes, thanks.
Yes, and I will do my dandiest to try to have T Money join us more frequently because you know, unfortunately, it's you know, with me and Maurice, although it's awesome, you know, sometimes it's nice to have another person, and you know, it gets awfully manly in here without somebody like T Money to join us. So it's nice to have a breath of fresh air and somebody who adds a different opinion. And we'll be, like I said, we'll be back on Sunday. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us late night tonight, as usual, and you know, kind of going through the notes with us. But may the force be with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.